I was like, I was just floating, man. People ask you, oh, how's your job search going? I think even at some point people just stopped asking me because they, I was just like, it's going, it's going. It's going. Sometimes honestly that's the response you give people. It's going, even if it's not going anywhere. Everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Itago. If you're new here, welcome to the family. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you've not subscribed, definitely hit that button, subscribe button, and at the end of this video, if you like my content, definitely give it a thumbs up. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about myself, about my journey basically over the past couple of months after I graduated school. I know a lot of my viewers are within the age group that's more or less transitional part of life, and I really wanted to share my journey as going through that transition of after college into the work life, which for me wasn't necessarily like a very easy thing to go through. So for today's video, it's gonna be a little bit weird because I was doing my makeup while doing it in the morning, and then right now it's like almost 9 p.m. and I had to rush out of the house in the morning, otherwise my uncle was gonna leave me. So half of it is while I was doing my makeup in the morning, and then maybe like the other half is now when it's like at night and everything. I really hope you get to enjoy this video where I just talk about my journey till now, and basically just to provide some tips on how to handle transitioning from living college into life, or even just from wherever part of life you're in, whether it's you're trying to find a job or you just left high school, you're just getting into high school, and it's usually one of the most difficult places for us as human beings to be at. I hope this video gets to at least encourage someone out there. If you relate to any part of the video, definitely put it in the comments. It always gives me hope, or rather it might give another person hope when they see, oh, okay, there's another one out there who's struggling or who's trying to figure this thing out. I basically graduated college in May, as most of the people know. If you don't know, check out my welcome to my channel video. Man, graduation was such an amazing time, honestly, but also it was kind of like, I don't know, I was just like in my own zone, because the night before I graduated, I think I slept at like 4 a.m. because I had my thesis due, and I had been postponing writing it for maybe like about the whole time, 9 months. So I ended up writing it the last week. Don't do that. And then I graduated Saturday. Then the week after that I had like more graduations. I think I went for a total of 3 or 4 graduations for both my major and my minor and like other related stuffs. But after graduation I wasn't very wait, so first place, I'm doing my makeup while doing this because it's therapeutic to talk, and furthermore I need to get ready, and I also don't want to just like talk to the camera, because it's like kind of when like you go for therapy and then you can do stuff while talking because it helps you like talk better. Yeah, kind of like that. When I graduated and then I went to New Orleans, blah blah blah. So for like a month between graduation and June, it didn't really hit me that I had graduated until I moved to Texas, and I was like, oh my god, I actually did graduate. Yeah, and with that reality, I just started like, I went through like probably the hardest time of my year, or the hardest part of my 4 years, past 4 years in the US, just because I think I've had a very good experience honestly in the US. I went through like a period of uncertainty, just because I didn't have a job and I was like getting out of a relationship. I was basically just there. I was just there. I want to talk about my life in my channel because I think it's important just to represent who I am, and also partially to hopefully just give hope to someone who's going through transitions right now, because man, that post-graduation life just hits you, and it hits you hard, especially if I feel like it hits you harder if you didn't have a social support. I thank God, honestly. Like, it's a kind of like a form of privilege, because I have my aunt and my uncle, and my family is here. No, they are my family here, so it helped make things less stressful, because we joke and everything. I didn't have to pay rent. My rent in school was so expensive. I was paying so much money just to stay in like a shared apartment, but then I also had a very good apartment also, so But even in the midst of that, I was just like, what the heck am I doing with my life? Like, I'm here. So I'll give you guys a little bit of background. When I came from Kenya, not straight after high school, because after high school I went to Jomo Kenyatta University. I was doing actuarial science for like a year. I hated it. Not because I hate math, but because, I don't know, it was just very redundant for me. I'm not dissing anyone who does actuarial science. Honestly, if it's your cup of tea, ooh, by all means, honey, you're gonna make so much money. And I went the environmental economics route, which I hope I make money too. And before even I started doing actuarial science, I wanted to be an engineer, an aeronautical engineer. I should have just stuck to that, honestly. Maybe I wouldn't be having all these issues that are going on in my life right now. When I came to the US 4 years ago in 2013, I just came like that wide, starry-eyed teenager. I was like, oh my god, I'm in the US. I see this in Hollywood movies and I'm here. Like, I was imagining, my depiction of the US was, what's this musical? High School Musical. And honestly, my experience here was not that bad. I had such a nice time. I traveled so much. I went to Argentina for study abroad. I was able to travel to like Mexico, Puerto Rico. I went to Dubai. Like, I've done so many things in the past 4 years. And then before I graduated, I also graduated with honors. So that made things just like, the pressure to be something after graduation was even bigger, because people were just like, you're gonna do like great things, you're gonna be such an awesome person. And I'm like, yes, because I mean, I believe if someone speaks positivity into my life, hell yeah, I'm gonna accept it. I was doing honest research. I went to Ghana, I went to Uganda. Like, man, I met such great people in all those countries and everything. And I was making all these connections, and like, oh, you should come work in my company after you graduate, blah blah blah. So I was more or less like very sure about my success after I graduate. I was very sure that it wasn't going to be hard for me to find a job. I'm an awesome person, and I'm not saying that like in a way to brag or anything. I think I'm an amazing person. Like, I know my stuff. Whatever I need to know, I know. And I guess that's why people I was meeting were like, oh my gosh, like, I want you in my company. But come graduation, all these people were just like, we're downsizing. Because I wanted to move back to Africa after I finished my degree. Specifically, I studied environmental economics and policy, but then I also did a minor in global poverty practice, which is something that I am passionate about. Just development, what the definition for development is, and how basically we can define our own forms of development, because we don't have to ascribe to how you know, the West has defined development, at least for our countries, and we don't have to go the West's way. Whenever I tell people, they're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna be such an amazing woman in Africa. And I'm like, yes, hire me. But come May, I didn't have a job, and I don't know, maybe I had put my identity a lot in what I was doing, and it was making me just over self-confident, unnecessarily self-confident. I wasn't really putting my confidence in God, which is not right. I wasn't really focused on my identity in God. I was more of like, oh, I can do this, I have networks, I have connections. And then my connections failed me, so I was here I was in Texas. The only thing that was going for me is I was studying for my GREs, and I knew I was gonna start my master's program in August, but that's all, like literally that's all I knew about my future. I was just like, man, my mom's calling me and being like, oh, so how's your job search going? I think I flipped it on her once. I was just like, stop giving me pressure. Yeah, I'm sorry, mom. So yeah, so I went through one of the most uncomfortable seasons navigating that transition from college, and it was so hard. It still is not as easy, but then I'm at a better space. I was just floating, man. People ask you, oh, how's your job search going? I think even at some point people just stopped asking me because they, you know, I was just like, ah, it's going it's going. Sometimes honestly that's the response you need, people. It's going, even if it's not going anywhere. So I was at that point where I would see like my friends posting stuff on Facebook, on social media, and I'd just be like, oh my gosh, everyone's life is moving forward and I am just here. You know that feeling where you feel like nothing is happening on your side? That's the feeling I had. And I had to get off social media for like let me see, from June, it was supposed to be a month, but I got off social media eventually for like till December 1st. Yeah, that's the time that now I felt like I was in a better position to be on social media and just be the real me, because a lot of times I'd post pictures to make myself look like I'm okay, but I wasn't okay. You know, I was not okay. I'd post like all these nice pictures and people are like, oh, hashtag goals, hashtag can I just have your life? And I'm like, nope, you don't want my life. You don't want to live my life, because my life is not that great right now. But no one knew that. I'm gonna read this letter that I wrote to myself last year. There was this class I was taking and the professor was like, oh, write these letters and then I'm gonna send them to you next year. Okay, I wrote this last year and it says, okay, Itago, it's exactly 1 year now since we last worked together. Today I'm partially anxious about how the next 6 months will be.